Now that we have a bit of an understanding of what reverse mortgages are, kind of a bit of the pros and cons, paying a little bit more, but on a cash flow basis, cash flow management can be absolutely a great option. How can we start applying some of these things? Like, why would you even consider it?
So can you imagine the hypothetical situation that I just described to you? $2 million property, you access $1 million through equity takeout through reverse mortgage at today's rate 6.5%, let's just say, and you don't pay the monthly mortgage. So this is $1 million you just have sitting in your bank account. You didn't pay, it's a refinance. You didn't pay tax on it in order, no income tax or anything like that. So what happens? You have $1 million in your bank account. Very, very simple example. You could put that into a 10% structured note and get a $100,000 income stream in perpetuity or until passing, right? So, I mean, that's a very, very simple example in order to demonstrate how you can use the equity of your property to provide you with a very comfortable retirement. The slightly more nuanced example, imagine that baby boomer has an adult child, probably in their 30s or 40s. That adult child, today's environment, we keep on talking about how is someone in their 30s or whatever gonna ever own a property? How real estate is priced out of the range for these young people. I guess that would be middle age now, but the young people, let's just say, to ever afford a property. Here's a hypothetical situation in which parent and child can work together in a capacity to get to better outcomes. Let's say that the younger person, the younger adult child who's 35, 40, let's just say that they have a pretty good job. Now imagine the scenario. So you have a $1.5 million property. You have a $1 million takeout that the parents were able to take out of their property. Imagine that they give those funds to the adult child, the millennial, and now the millennial who qualifies for a $500,000 mortgage only is able to purchase a $1.5 million triplex. And there's lots of different scenarios that you can play out here. They could live in one unit and rent with the others. They can rent with all three, or there's lots of different things you can do. But generally speaking, can you imagine that this is just a pure income property? Let's just say, right? We know that it generates $8,000 in rent. Normally, if you got it at a normal mortgage, 80% loan to value, and cash flow neutral, cash flow positive, about $500. Now let's look at this alternative scenario where you have $1 million down payment and a $500,000 mortgage. That $500,000 mortgage, every multiple of $100,000 of a mortgage is about $500. So you have a mortgage payment of about $2,500. Let's just say, roughly speaking, it's like $1,200 in expenses. Let's just round that to 1,000, or round it up. And call me out for being too aggressive here. So conservatively, we're rounded up to 1,500. So you're at $4,000 of carry costs. $1,500 expenses, $2,500 mortgage against $8,000 of rent. You now have a cash flow positive asset of $4,000 a month. Now that $4,000 could be turned around and you could give it back to the parent. It could be that $4,000 turns into almost a $50,000 income for them to help them in their retirement, like pension.